is going on, guys? Welcome back to DW Bros Productions, where today, for the first time on this channel, we are doing something that isn't Doctor Who related. And yes, this is a Doctor Who channel, but I thought this would be a nice fun thing to do on the channel and hopefully bring in some views as well. But today, guys, we are taking a look at a Spider-Man figure, for 3 Spider-Man figures from each movie of the original Spider-Man movies. So that means from the first 3 Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. So without further ado, let's start with the Spider-Man 1 Superposable Spider-Man from Toy Biz. This figure is absolutely amazing. It does to this day hold up with all new current Marvel Legend figures. It has such amazing articulation, and it is from 2001, people. 2001. It's got better articulation than some figures today. It has got much better articulation than Doctor Who figures. The sculpting work on this figure is impeccable. It is only comparable to other Spider-Man figures from the original Spider-Man 1 and 2 movies, really. And Spider-Man 3, yeah, and Spider-Man 3. But it is just absolutely amazing. So, let's take a look at it. As you can see, it is very, very posable. The fingers have articulation, the head has a neck joint, has a head joint as well. As I said, the sculpting is amazing. Even his toes can move. So let's take a look at the articulation in a whole quick. Or actually, let's take a look at the sculpting work on this figure first. Let's do that. So, undeniably, that is Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. That was his Spider-Man. I mean, the sculpting work on this is absolutely amazing. That is not all painted on, that is sculpting on. Now, Hasbro, you have started to sculpt on stuff, but for many years you just painted it on. I mean, and look, this is from 2001, and look how good the sculpting work on that is. It's much better than some figures nowadays. It looks absolutely amazing. The paint is a bit I think worn. It's lost a bit of its colour over 20 years or 21 years. I can't do maths, leave me alone in the comments. But it looks absolutely amazing. The articulation is, you do get a head joint. You can look up around it. It is a bit loose. He has a neck joint, as you can see, so it can move his neck. The torso articulation is a bit odd. It's like almost spring loaded in a way. Look, it is almost spring loaded in a way as it goes back to the original position most of the time. But for 2001, this is amazing. It has quite a nicely hidden bicep joint. As you can see, it does have a nicely hidden bicep joint, which I do really like. It does have a joint at the wrist, so it can turn, and it has posable fingers, so you can get him in the awesome whip pose. He does have a joint at his waist, so he can turn side to side. This arm is obviously the exact same. The legs move up to 90 degrees. They kick out, of course, to 90 degrees. They bend with a double joint at the knee. His feet do move forward and back with a slight ankle rocker pivot, very, very slight ankle rocker pivot, and a toe joint at the toes for toe articulation. So for the first ever Spider-Man movie figure from Toy Biz and Superposable, this was fucking amazing. Also, guys, the Spider-Man 1 figure does feature a cut at the top of his red bit of his costume here, where he can turn his like almost boot-like thing it looks like on the figure. Yeah, fucking amazing figure. Now, guys, moving on to one of the rarest figures from the Spider-Man whole toy line It is the super posable Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2.
Pizza time.
This figure is the best, and I mean best, Spider-Man Tobey Maguire figure from the Sam Raimi trilogy of all time. The new Marvel Legends and the new, what is it called, SH Figure Arts ones look good. They do look good. But, in my opinion, not as good as this guy. This guy looks absolutely amazing. In my opinion, Tobey Maguire is the definitive movie Spider-Man. I just love him as Spider-Man. I think he fitted the role perfectly, and of course you can see this figure looks absolutely amazing. I feel the head, although the one on the Spider-Man 1 figure was good, this one is far, far superior. It has a lot of articulation here at the chest. It has the same joint that the other one had, so it can move here. It has also a ab crunch here that, unfortunately, which is the only issue with this figure, doesn't go very far forward. However, it goes very, very far back. But that's not really an issue. The sculpting work from Toy Biz once again remains. You got all of the texturing. This figure is a bit on the red. On the red, it's brighter. But on the blue, it's darker, and that is how it appeared in Spider-Man 2. Also, the spider on the front has changed, and the spider on the back has changed, as that did. This is how it looked in Spider-Man 2. The articulation is very, very similar on this figure. The head still is able to look up and down. It is just quite stiff on mine. It can look side to side, but as I've said, it is quite stiff on mine. There is a neck joint, but it is still quite stiff on mine. The arms actually are less restricted. They have a butterfly joint, I think, built in, so they can move really far out. And the sculpting work does not stop there. Oh, I lost my breath a bit there somehow. That's odd. The bicep, bicep cut is different. It doesn't blend in as well, but I think it's more. It looks better like this. It looks more muscular, I think. It does bend. It does have a double joint at the arms like the other one, and the fingers, all fingers on this version of Spider-Man are posable, so you can still get him in the awesome flip pose. I've already said about the chest, and the other arm is the exact same. You can see the legs are quite different though. They have almost these like ball jointed legs, which I'm really, really confused about. That is probably the only thing I do not like on this figure, as they are a bit harder to pose like this, but they do their job. You can still pose him like that. The leg does bend to 90 degrees or more with a double jointed knee, and the boot section does still turn, and he still does have the foot articulation and toe articulation. So overall, this guy is fucking amazing. This figure is absolutely amazing, super posable, like in the name. However, this figure is quite hard to get hold of. I was lucky to get him for how cheap I did. I paid $74.99 on eBay for this, which seems like a lot, but they seem to sell for much more, which I do not understand. They sell for much, much more. So this figure is absolutely amazing, and I'm really, really happy to have it in my collection. There are two other versions of this figure. It was re-released in the Spider-Man 3 line with some, I think, very similar paint apps, just a bit more sloppy. And it was re-released in the Spider-Man, it was a Spider-Man movie line where this figure was re-released. Just the blue was very, very bright blue, but the paint was quite sloppy. So if you can get your hands on any of these three figures, They are worth every penny, but it depends how many pennies you have, because it is very expensive. And moving on to Spider-Man 3, we do have the black suited variant of Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. Now, this figure is very, very unpopular. I personally have a soft spot for it. I really, really like this figure. I think the sculpting on it is still incredibly good. It is equal sculpting wise, all the detail on it is just as good as the Spider-Man 1 and 2 figures. However, its articulation is where it lacks. Now, as I said, the sculpting is very good. It does have the different new symbiote spider on the front, which I personally do prefer, and I think it looks really cool. It is on the back. You have to excuse the paint issues. I did get all these second hand, and there isn't many out there that are reasonably priced for a good one of this figure with good paint apps. So this was the best I could get. I mean, I think it looks good still, so I'm happy with it. It is missing a bit of paint on the top though, and that is the only bit that really does bother me. But yeah, the sculpting is absolutely amazing still. It's the articulation where it lacks. I mean, it can't look up. It can pretty much only look up this much, really, which is a bit disappointing, and can really only hang its head in shame from how bad the articulation is on this figure. But a way you can get around that in a way, if you lean him back a bit with the ball jointed middle section, he looks up. However, that makes his back stick out quite a lot, as you can see. So it's up to you. But I'm okay with that. The arm articulation is very restricted. It can bend here, which is a very odd joint. It doesn't have a bicep cut anymore, so it now has a cut here where it can do that. The hand, for some reason, is always open, and it did originally, when it first came out, come with a web that you plug in, but webs don't come out like that. He makes a flip pose, so yeah, bit odd. It does have a cut here at the arm, which you can probably just about see because how dark it is. Yeah, you can just about see it there. It does move out that far, which is pretty shit. It really should move out more. Can go back and forward. It can do a full 360 like all the others, but it's fucking stiff. The other arm is the exact same, except it can move at the hand this time, but doesn't have a cut there. So why not just not put a cut there on that one and sculpt the hand different? But fucking hell, I don't know. The head, as I said, can only look down and look a bit up, and it can look side to side. I think it can do a full 360, can it? It can. That's good. It can do a full 360. I guess that's the positive. You can have your Spider-Man's head turning all the way around. The torso is very restricted. Look, that's all it can do. There. That's the most you're going to get out of that. The legs can kick up less than 90 degrees. Yeah. However, it does have double jointed knees. Well done, Hasbro. However, though, we come to a negative. No toe articulation, no ankle rocker pivot, and he has ginormous feet. They look very small on camera, they look normal on camera, but in person they are fucking huge. So yeah, his legs can move out, and yeah, they can't move back. Oh, can they move back? Oh, they can! Look at that, they can move back at a very odd angle. So yeah. Sculpting wise, brilliant. Articulation wise, not the best. So yeah, it looks okay as a statue, not as a Marvel Legend, which it was sold as. So up to you if you get this. I hope Marvel Legends now, like the new Marvel Legends from today, do a Spider-Man Sam Raimi line, I can't pronounce his name, and redo this, because Hasbro, you really let us down with this. Though I have heard Toy Biz did sculpt this figure, but Hasbro released it. Hasbro, why did you not just see this figure and go, yeah, no, and get the Spider-Man 2 figure and just repaint it? And I think we could have all been fine just not having this spider and just having the other one and having a fully articulated black suit Spider-Man. Because this, it's not the best. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also guys, tell me in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like this that aren't Doctor Who related. Of course Doctor Who is the main thing on this channel and it always will be. But I thought I'd do this today. Tell me if you'd like to see anything Star Wars Black series, more Marvel stuff, Star Wars stuff in general, maybe Five Nights at Freddy's, who knows. Tell me what you guys want to see and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Pizza time.